pleasure to introduce Mr. N.R. Govindarajan, a member of our institute, and also DISA. He is a Bachelor of Commerce. He qualified in May 1987 and is a member in practice, and he is also holding for IFRS certification course, and also is a visiting faculty member for Office of St. AG and resource members for ICAA New Delhi. With this introduction, I introduce Mr. N.R. Govindarajan. With the permission of the speaker, let me exceed my limit of just introducing this speaker. I just wanted to bring out some of the facts about the program, particularly the topic. The topic made me really interested to find out how we can get maximum out of the articleship training. Now, I just wanted the speaker to clarify first whether the topic is for the articled trainees or for the members. That's the first thing. The second aspect which I just wanted to bring out the members is, I was just going through the institute website in the afternoon and find the results which has been declared in the latest exam is as follows. Both the groups intermediate cleared out of 49,000 members, it is hardly about 11,000 students. And group 1 alone cleared roughly around out of 50,000 students. Again, it is about 16%, which comes roughly around to say another 10,000. In group 2 alone, the number of students is appeared for 63,000 students, whereas the people who are cleared is just about 20%, which comes to 13,000 students. So totally, when you look into it, 13 plus 10 plus 10 is roughly around 33,000 students. Assuming for a fact that the people who take articles on clearing the first group itself, let us leave it at 3,000 students. Now, in a year, based on the same percentage of the results which is being given by the institute, particularly for the intermediate course, it's 60,000 vacancies which can be filled up as per the results which are being declared. Vis-a-vis, if you look to the number of members, it is roughly about 112,000 members all over India who are in practice, which means, assuming if everybody can train about 10 members, you can think about what is the number of vacancies which is available vis-a-vis the number of students we are really available for filling up. Now, even 120,000 members, a person can take articles. Once he takes an article, it is spread for 3 years. Let us take about 4 years also. So, 120,000 into 10 divided by 4, if you put it roughly around 3 lakh vacancies is available. This is as per the latest scenario. Now, where is the articles is available with the present level of students getting through the intermediate exam. Now, I just wanted the speaker to devote some time on this particular aspect also, because we find most of the members, mid-level firms, if you look into it, we don't get any articles at all. Even as per my understanding and discussion with people, even before they have vacancies for articles, they are not filling up the full vacancies. Now, where they are going? Is it really available? What is that we can do it? The institute can do it for increasing the availability of students coming into the course. Two things is possible. One is increasing the pass percentage you can increase the pass percentage only by diluting the whatever you call it, whether it's evaluation or paper setting, whatever be the scenario. If you dilute the question paper or increase the pass percentage by any other means, again what you are going to get to the members is going to be the low quality stuff which may not be useful in the long run, because the candidate who is joining now is the same person who is going to get out of the course as a chartered accountant. The society also is expecting a lot from the members. So I thought, even if I had not been asked to introduce the speaker, I thought I would take the permission from the organizers to first put forth my topic on this particular issue. I request the speaker to devote some time on this particular thing also. Otherwise, the whole thing is we are working on a thin air when nobody is available to come to the course as an article trainee. What is the topic is going to help us? Anyway, this is only a food for thought. Thanks for patient listening. Thank you.
Good evening. Am I audible? Good evening.
Good evening.
Two things normally I start off. One, the organizers come and tell me, sir, people will come, or we will start now itself, then they will join, or they will say, don't bother, sir, there is some traffic jam or something like that, they will come. This is one thing. And another thing is that one of my friends used to say, don't bother about who has not come. It's a slap on the face if you don't start for the people who have come. So I will only take the second point. Irrespective of who has come or who has not come, it is our point here that we should start off and complete our job. You people as listener and me as a speaker. But I am reminded of a small anecdote which I thought I will share, wherein the organizers also will not say from now on, people have not come, we will wait, or whatever it is. Or they should not bother about the number of people who come. It happened once in the life of a person who is an MBA. He went to his guru, any guru for that matter, let us take. And he fell on the feet and said, Guruji, I want to start about stress management. So I have taken Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has got principles on management. So stress management through Bhagavad Gita. This is what I am going to talk about. The Guru said, yes, I bless you, start. So this man conveniently chose a Sunday so that people cannot get excuse. 4 o'clock. 50 people came. We are more concerned about the numbers. That's why I am trying to bring this small anecdote. And next week it came down to some 30. After that it came to 20. The man went to his guru once again, fell on his feet and said, I am really distressed. Guru said, what's the problem? No, I started with from 50 people for my program, but ultimately it has come down to 20. Guru said, what is your problem? No, I am bothered that it may come to 5. So what? No, what happens if it becomes 2? He said, don't bother. The topic which you have taken is Bhagavad Gita, where there was only one person to listen to Krishna. So, it is not the number that matters. More so, it was in a battlefield that Krishna was delivering and Arjuna was listening. So, what underlines here is the speaker, the receiver and the channel. If all these things are in alignment, that's why I said good afternoon or good evening or whatever, then I got some response. Even though it was not very sharp, at least you know that the channel is open. So how good the speaker delivers and how it is being received by the receiver is what ultimately matters, and it is not the number. So let us go with that idea and take up this. He was mentioning when he was introducing, what is the sum and substance of this heading or topic? Truthfully to tell you, I did not choose this first. They gave one particular heading, training the articles. I said, how? Who is going to be the target audience? They said, mostly members, sir. Then I saw the mail today. It is talking about students also. Thankfully, I think students are not here. Okay, now they called me day before yesterday and told me, no sir, the chairman has said the topic will be something else. Then I said, I was a bit worried. If it is a new topic, probably I may have to prepare. Then they said, no problem. It is going to be getting maximum out of articleship training. At that point of time, I used one of my articles to give some ideas on this because they have been with me for quite some time. So that girl asked me, sir, getting the maximum out of articleship training to whom? Is it for the member or is it for the... See, now this one topic which you are talking about, which can be interpreted in any manner. So I will not get into the student aspect of it to a larger extent, but then I will be addressing our members on what we are doing from our own exercise. And I would like to have this, since this is a small group of audience, I think we can even have a sort of, what do you call, one-on-one. So that interaction, like he started off with certain ideas. So we can go with such discussion so that it will be meaningful rather than I talking about on one point. Maybe you can stop me at any point of time and then it can be a very interactive session. Okay, coming to his point straight away. He says number of students are not greater or larger in number when compared to the statistics as he has taken out. Yes, the statistics I am not disputing because he has taken from a very verified source. Yes, the bottom line is numbers are dwindling. What we have to do? Straight away I will take that point. See here, as members, we can only represent and like what you are saying, you can do. But as a government body, as a quasi-government body, I don't know what happens. I should not use a very harsh word like Tuklak Raj or whatever. This keeps on shifting from different methods. First, when we were students then, it was a different situation where you have to take up an entrance exam, probably in the year 80s and all that. Then we got into 3 years articles, and then there used to be 1 year of industrial training and all that. Then it moved on to PE1, PE2, and then back to once again foundation examination. Then that got shifted to something else and all that. So with the result, what is that ultimately we are trying to project to the outside world? On one aspect, we are saying that this is a course where you have on-the-job training or something like that. And at the same time, the student feels that passing the exam is my ultimate aim. So somewhere in between, we wanted to balance between the two. But then still we are not coming. Now I think we have come back to the original position. That's what I am told in the next thing. So here, I think we should really address this issue. Yes, sir.
See, the course has not changed a lot from 80s where we are being articles. The thing was, there also, the only thing that changed, name was changed. That's the only thing. There was an entrance, now they made this CPE.
No, in between, you are not coming to the auditor unless you pass the examination. That was there in PE1 and all that.
To some extent.
So, the numbers were, at least at that point of time, less. There was an answer.
No, but the problem now is, I think nobody is coming to this course at all.
Yeah, that is also one thing, because the numbers, it cannot be only on account of the structure. How well, see, to put it very clearly, the other professions are also attracting people. And the pass percentage being very less, thankfully I have a daughter who is not interested in coming to this course. Same thing. So where is my practice or other professional opportunity going to go? Okay, you are looking at it from one aspect of it, namely the numbers which are coming for the professional training. What happens after we all cross some period? I don't want to use the word death and all that. After some point of time, when we are not going to be there or we retire, who is going to take the professional opportunity when the numbers are not coming in? Is it going to be the cost increase to the clients, or we will be still going on the same? These are all questions for which different answers can come. Probably we can even spend some more time. I am trying to put, you are looking at it only the entry into the profession. I am talking about people who get out. Look at today, the industry is offering at least 3 times more than what I am offering for a chartered accountant was passed. From my office, there was a girl. Mine is not a very big firm and all that. It's a medium-sized firm with about 8 partners and about 40 people working for us. Now, if you look at that, that girl passed out in the first attempt, and 3 months of articleship was still pending. So she told me, I will give you a list of companies which have come for the campus interview. From out of it, you please select and give me. There were private sector as well as PSUs. The PSU was offering the maximum for her. Bharat Petroleum was offering, can you guess? Any guess? 15 lakhs. 7 lakhs Larsen & Toubro was offering. I was offering 6 lakhs. Imagine Larsen & Toubro offering only 7 lakhs and PSUs offering. So I am more concerned about the other aspect of it also. You are talking about the numbers dwindling. Assuming from out of the numbers people come out, how many you will be getting towards your next line of continuity? That itself is also a challenge. So here if you look at it, if I am going to get an article, if that one question is still there, then how am I going to retain him in my office? Right? That is another challenge. Everybody, I think, we will be facing that particular issue today.
The regulation can hold within 1 year you can change.
Yes, that is also possible. And I tell you today, the number of opportunities which are available for the student is enormous. I know of a very eminent chartered accountant in Chennai, a close friend of mine, whose son passed out. I asked him, what is that your son is going to do? He was also going for all this campus and all that, and finally he decided, I want to do BL, law. So what he is doing is, he is joined his father's firm, but concentrating more on leading law. He wants to qualify more. Like that we are also finding people. So this is one type of problem. And another one, as he rightly pointed out, the numbers which are coming into the profession itself is dwindling. And the other aspect is that we have a very low pass percentage. And I don't want to get into what happened in the last 6 months about the results and all that, because that is not in our purview. But these are all things which are going to affect the image of the profession as such. So with the result, already we are a dead horse, and more flogging is coming in different varieties. All of us, let us also come back and then have a thought. How many of us are now really not rusted with respect to the knowledge aspect of it? Let us take that also into account. All of us read a Companies Act which was 1956. Thankfully, 61 Act is still there, but it's a question of time. In another 1 or 1.5 years, that is also going to go. Then the TNGST or whatever we were talking about, that is also gone, which is in the form of VAT. And our age is also going up like anything. So how far? So who is going to take up all these things in our office? That is another challenge which I thought we will push it up. Any thoughts up to this on this point, like what he was having? Do you think industry is overtaking us?
No, industry is not overtaking, but the opportunities that is being given by the industry, if you look at it, is also coming down for chartered accountants particularly. Because I was able to find some of the advertisements in newspaper. They say that chartered accountants don't apply.
Is it?
That's the thing which has come.
Surprising.
So since it is not suitable or what?
No, they said specific advertisement.
This is in a manufacturing entry, or what type of industry you are talking? What type of industry?
Manufacturing.
Manufacturing. So they want MBAs or?
No, they're not saying that. The cost accountants or company secretaries, they're asking for it. Chartered accountants, they specifically don't apply.
Is it a PSU? If it is PSU, I will not be surprised. Because the lobbying of ICAA, I being a member there also, the lobbying of ICAA Institute is phenomenal when compared to our institute with respect to PSUs. But with respect to private sector, we are leading. That is why I asked you that question.
It's a manufacturing company. I don't know the name of the company. It's a manufacturing company. It came into itself.
So that is the sad state of affairs. Okay, coming to the, I will get into the, actually I have got only 10 slides, so that I am not going to get into the slide aspect of it. So more so, if you can also throw up something, we can also have, and then we can continue this. Another aspect which I thought we will also discuss here is, okay, forget about the numbers which are coming into the articleship for us. But how much of that such talent we as MSMEs are attracting? That is also another challenge. I don't want to name the firm. I was talking to one of the biggest firms in Chennai, and then I asked them, how do you do it? They told me, we have appointed a outsourced consultant who will first take all the application forms and do a vetting at the first process, and then from out of this they will select certain people. They will also do a small interview at the first level. After that they will give me the list of people. Based on that, we will once again at the partner level or the junior partner level, we will take it up. Then finally we select. Then the same firm which was doing this vetting will, the outsourced firm, will involve itself in the next part, which I will also be discussing on the orientation aspect of it. Now the quality of such people are really good. But you are talking about, if I talk like this, then the first thing you will say is, sir, already I am saying number is coming down. Okay, who is going to come? But that firm has attracted at least 60 people. Now, I will just, you have seen the topmost, there is something called Badgaj. I'll tell you what it is. We are a network of about 11 firms all over India. With about partners level, if you look at it on average, about 7 or so, and some have about 15, 20 also. So roughly about 120 people, chartered accountant partners in our network. And articles on an average about 20. So that's about 250 or so. And staff strength, you can, on the same line, you can go ahead. Now what I have learned from this type of networking is, every firm is unique based on the location. That is another aspect of it. If what I am telling to my network partner, so for example, Bangalore, my network partner is fantastic. He only gives us a lot of ideas as to how to get into this training of articles, how to retain the articles, how to encourage them. Phenomenal. Now he has now left us and he has moved to international network. Now we have got another firm, they are also equally good. So from that also, we have understood how to get into this retaining people. That is also another challenge. So that also probably we will discuss. Now anything else, or shall I go ahead with...
Yes, go ahead.
Now my thing will be like this. First about introduction, already we have got into lot of introduction areas we have seen, but then we will see what it is. Then we will talk about the interview, which interview once again, that's also a very dicey term. Who is going to interview whom? That's what we will spend some time on that also, because practically I have faced a lot of challenges with respect to this interview. Then initial orientation, which I told you, now some people have even outsourced. Then we have got standard templates, especially this network people have really done wonders. I don't know how many of you get into some work over phone. Somebody is asking, sir, I want promotion of a company. Okay, no problem. Tomorrow I will come and meet you. That is how most of us do, right? We don't do that in our office. He says, thank you, sir. Please give your email ID by SMS or what email or whatever, so that we will give you our proposal. So this point of sending the proposal and taking the work is the first thing we tell our article. Unless you ensure that there is a proposal, please do not visit their office or start to work. Because
the concept is, the person is calling you and then discussing with you this better job which you will have. No member suddenly jumps and then runs to his office, okay, I'm here to do this.
sir, he is asking what is the fee, sir? That's what I meant.
I think no member will just jump down, okay, I'll do this, but in the he will not make it. But what is required, what I find now is, we should have a common methodology. That's what it is. If people can ask, doesn't matter. You're not going today, you're going to go tomorrow, doesn't matter. You can wait, knowledge willing to wait. But how do you present yourself, your firm to them is more matters.
Yes, ultimately.
More matters. Rather than saying board phone, it's okay, what this is my fees, this is what I can do. If you look at it, it reduces image not only about you, but also the entire profession.
That's what my network people told me. Talk to him, speak to him, but then don't ever talk about the fees. If he says about the fees, yes sir, I will also tell about my fees, not over phone. Okay, it's not our principle or policy to discuss all these things over phone. We will send our proposal, please give your email ID. So we have got a lot of templates in our office, right from how to apply for a PAN number. Like that, see, that also comes in the part of a training where most of our job, we will be getting into the next part of it so easily. So we will talk about this timesheets also, because timesheet once again plays a very important role as far as the regulator CA Institute is concerned. They are asking us to report at the end. Most of us just fill up and then add up. But then if some inquiry or something comes up, we can always substantiate it in the form of this. But billing becomes easy once you have this timesheet. How many of you use any software for this? We are using, I will share my thoughts on this. So timesheet is one. Then in-house training, I will discuss about that also, what we do in our office. I want you to give me some inputs so that if you are also following something, which if I feel that I can also adapt, that will be a very good thing, and I will take it up to my network people also. In fact, one of my network partners sent me one Word document from Guwahati, and he has given me ideas which I have incorporated in this also. So in-house training is one aspect. Then rotation of work and segregation of duties. This is another challenge. I don't have numbers. How do you want me to rotate? This is one aspect of it. I have numbers. That fellow doesn't want to go to that client. That is another one. Second, third one is the client is saying, don't keep on sending different people. So these three challenges which we will also discuss and see how best we can go. Then program seminars, conferences where we sponsor people and then make them improving the morale. There are a lot of things we can do on this. And finally, the challenges which I have already discussed, even though I thought it would be final, the topic challenge came first. So we started off with that. Okay, all said and done. See, one thing which he was mentioning, like, okay, we don't have numbers and all that. But we keep on saying one thing. This is a well-rounded professional getting developed and unique practical training. Undoubtedly, this is unique, sir. It is not in just like that by word of mouth or anything like that. I say, if you take the lawyer profession, for example, first they pass, then only they get into the lawyer firm. If you take a doctor, they read, and then only they come into the house surgeon. But this one particular profession, why we are today in this mess or something like that, that is something which we have to ponder. We will keep on pondering and all that. But all said and done, the groundwork that was created by our forefathers is excellent, I am telling you. I have been in a very big office. Those days it was considered as one of the big four. But today they have lost the challenges of the big four, but the firm still remains. It's called Sharp & Tannen in Mumbai, where I was there for about 24 months. Then I shifted to a smaller firm. I have experience to that extent on a small firm as well as a big firm. So if you look at that aspect of it, where you learn so many things in a big firm, which the small firm will not give. But the exposure that you get in a small firm, for example, filling that application form and things like that for PAN number and all that, you don't get it in a big firm at all because they don't get into that type of practice. So all said and done, whether it's a small firm or a big firm, what I am trying to bring out here is the unique training which we are getting in the form of practical training. That is making you a good professional. Somewhere in between we have failed. That is the reason why all these things are there. Let us look at why we failed and all that. We are having the on-the-job experience. That is what is unique to this course. Then, what all things ultimately this training gives us? One, yes, definitely hard work. Because even in serials, if you look at it, why are you late? The wife used to ask. Husband will say, we have audit. So, we find always, it is like this firm takes too much time, and normally, when in fact the next thing I will go to the next slide and I will tell you, I was discussing actually this particular material which I was preparing, more so I gave it to my article. I told them, you prepare. Then tell me what exactly you are doing in this office. Are you convinced about what I have written or what you have written? Based on that, I asked her one question, which I will also share with you. So, necessary skills, theoretical knowledge we are applying to practical situation. Income tax, for example. So many things which are practically we are following or whatever we have. The theory and practice now get matched here. So that is one aspect of it. Then ethical values, yes. I had a person from Kanchipuram, a very devo person, having tough and all that. Once I told him, pay this amount to so and so person. Those days getting a PAN number was difficult. He said, I want to leave your articleship firm. Straight. Then I asked him, do you think as a chartered accountant later when you pass out, you will do the same thing of leaving the profession? Sir, I will look at it later, but I will not pay anything. I will not join your office if you are going to give this type of work. Yesterday I met him in Kanchipuram. We had a function. Then I asked him, how is that you are doing? Sir, I am unable to really strike a balance. But what to do? I have to survive. But you didn't survive in my firm. At least I am only blessing you that you survive in that firm. I don't want to name that company. He is working and he is a chartered accountant. He is a very devo person even today. Daily he goes and comes back. He doesn't stay outside. He doesn't take outside food and all that. But still he is surviving. All said and done. So that is one.
Is he in practice or in service?
He is in service.
The problem I tell you is, see, if he is in practice, he'll be able to maintain his ethical standards.
Sir, this also is, once again, yes, possible.
Now, he'll be able to maintain his ethical standards at least to 75%. I'm not
Sir, it's only, once again, it is very relative. Okay.
But being in employment, naturally he has to, his immediate thing is he has to survive, he has to listen to his boss. That is his ethical standard rather than...
Do you agree with him? Anybody? I don't agree with him because I am going to tell my experience when I started my practice.
My experience is every boss is a low class group. They have standard, suddenly become rich. All are suddenly become, take Thermi sugars, suddenly become rich. So they don't know anything. So they want something to be done. Before we complete the 3 layers, they will say something in this right.
I want this to be done. That is why I have recruited you. Finish this off. See, that is the aspect in the industry. Here, we are bound once again in a different variety that client wants this, so I have to pay. My father used to ask me when I in my first few years of practice, how is the practice? I said, have you learned permutation combination? Yes. Good ITO, good client, no problem. Bad ITO, bad client, no problem. The other 2 cases is challenge. So this is what I told him when I started my practice. Now I will come to the other aspect which he was mentioning. Namely, yes.
I have one more experience.
Yes.
See, this happened sometime around mid-90s. And not in mid-80s, I can make it up. That's the time where we had an article. He was the son of the very influential person in speaking. He came to articles for some purpose because he transferred of articles. We have to
Some reason.
When the partner said, please take this closing stock figure for preparing the account, he said he want the working. I want the working to see how you got the closing stock figure. The partner said, take the figure as it is. He said, I am not going to take it. I am not interested in learning the thing. I want to understand, follow the principles. That is the level to which the firm had articles.
And people were speaking out and the partner was also listening. On 2 aspects we have to see. It's not only from the student side, but also how the partner says. Like what he says is that, I am the boss, I decide. You have to do it. Both in the industry as well as in practice, we find such elements everywhere. So it's ultimately the human being that matters.
Sometimes they sack the auditors for their faults.
Yes, that's also happening. I will share one or two experience of mine when I was an article as well as a member. Once again, I was in a religious crowd. They were talking about same Bhagavad Gita. Then after that, I met one chartered accountant. He was 2 years senior to me. He said, you are going to get into a lot of trouble with respect to ethics and all that. Okay, you have listened to Bhagavad Gita. See the path that you are going to create. You are going to practice. So I was jittery, literally. See, I heard something, all good things, and then this man comes and says, you are in profession and you are going to pay bribe and you are going to get into all pap and all that. So after that, I met my brother, a chartered accountant, at least 14 years senior to me. He was in industry. I told the same thing what you are telling. He said, call him, I will talk to him. Then he said, sir, I am also in the industry. You are also in the industry. My brother has just started his practice. So you are telling that you will get into this PAP aspect. You know, he is in lower level of PAP and we are in a higher level of PAP. That's all. I don't want to name the company. This is a very top big company, and for reasons that struck him at that point of time, he left at the age of 50. But for that, he would have been an executive director today in that company. All his handpicked people are now EDs or this thing. But he says, money is enough for me. But then it is very difficult for doing like that. That is one aspect of it I thought I will share. But this challenge of ethics is going to be there. So that's what I thought we will talk about.
See, the new audit report specifically says you adhere to the ethical values.
But then what is ethics, sir? Once again, are you going by the book which gives us what is ethics? After passing out, I took one time with Mr. Bhupati and I told him, you have given one bound book about various ethical practices as well as judgments. After reading that, I could not sleep. He said, we never said you should read. With respect to what? The judgments. Ethics you read, but don't read the judgments. If you read the judgments, you are in trouble. Okay? That's what he told me.
Why I am taking this particular step is today, without our knowledge, we have to at least when you sign the audit report, say at least some conscious pricking must be there to introduce it to give up. We say that we are following this.
100%, sir.
We may not follow 100% ethics, at least 10%.
Yes. That is why, I don't know how many of you will be looking at what I am looking at it. We surrendered the practice of concurrent audit of banks last year, and we had a very big hit in our bottom line. Because of the risks that we are taking for a pittance amount. Even though I say it is a big hit, but it is a pittance amount when compared to the risk. That's what I am trying. So don't ask me a question. You say it's a big hit on our bottom line, and how do you say it is pittance? Yes, the vis-a-vis, the risk vis-a-vis the amount that you get. Even though we have employed a banker who has been an AGM in the inspection department, not just like that a manager or anybody who sits and then signs checks and all that. No, we are not taking that type of people, but in spite of that, we have consciously taken not to do the concurrent audit. So that is the, see, on one type, we are talking about how to get maximum from our article. That's why I said, when you want to face these type of risks and all that, naturally your articles who are supposed to be your material to do the work, that should be very strong, that should be very sharp, otherwise we are in trouble. So, formal interview of the candidates who want to join you. That is where I told you, we have lot of challenges here. Who interviews whom? First thing when I met one person for interview, after he was shortlisted by our people, I'll tell you how we shortlist also. He asked me a question. How many company audits you are having? How many public limited company audits you are having? Are you into central statutory audit of banks? Will I be given outstation audits? See? Then I asked him, on chartered accountant came, post qualification. Similar questions he also asked in a different scale. I didn't want to interview him on the technical grounds. But I simply asked him one question on the accounting standards. You know what answer I got? I said, that group I passed 3 years ago. See, at the student level at least we can understand, okay, their level of knowledge or whatever is thing. But then we talk about the members. Having passed out, his expectations were quite high as far as salary is concerned. But then when we asked some question on the accounting standard, he could not come back. So this is the challenge. So now the question is, who interviews whom? All said and done, as a person who is going to recruit articles, we are going to interview them. So interview is one aspect of it where it will solve most of your problems. In my office, what we do is, we have a set of 5 question papers, because once a person attends my office, he will go and tell, he will give these 5 questions, that will be this, this, this. So what we do is, amongst our Badgaj network partners, we keep shuffling the question papers. Young members are really interested in preparing this questionnaire also, thankfully for us. And then we share these question papers and we rotate that also. And then we also see how he has been referred. If he has been referred by another Odisha person, then naturally we will not give that question paper to him, because that Odisha group will be in the same mansion and then he will come and then easily get over this. So this is one aspect of it we are taking care of. So then we see how he writes the quality resume. This is one thing which I was discussing with my people. Why are you putting includes review of quality resume? Sir, I expect the resume to be of some quality. So that is what I am trying to find out. So if the resume, how they prepare, that itself will tell you, most of them will say hard work, this, that and all that. But ultimately, after joining, we know what type of work they do. So that is where the challenge comes to us. So written test, I told you, we are already doing. Very rarely we get into this group discussion. Final registration we take up after the personal interview with the partner. Mostly I or my next level partner does it. I am more interested in finding out the family background of him, because there are a lot of people who may require some financial help. That is where we are looking at it from the social responsibility aspect of it, where in my office, I have 3 people who have come from Viluppuram and other areas where the father is having a tea shop. That girl is working fantastic, I am telling you. So one should not look at, because we are already an MSME. So how do you think such girls or boys will find a place in Big Four, you tell me? And such people also come out excellent. I'll share one small experience with you which happened sometime in 87, 88 when I started my practice. My office was in Ranganathan Street. I had one girl who had come from Nagarkovil, that Thanumalaya Swami temple. What is that place? I forgot. It is a border of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Suchitra. She was from that place. So, in fact, she could not even dress properly. She used to come with that half sari and all that, which was not supposed to be a great thing then. They used to wear only in the house. And one of our own neighbors in the office, that lady, old lady, who was very, she was in a very big post in government. She used to tell, what is this? Your article is coming like this. I said, see, don't bother. Find out how she works. There may be some compelling reasons for her to come in that type of dress and all that. But ultimately what matters is how she works. She could not even speak English properly. She will always speak in Tamil. But I didn't bother about, because at that point of time I needed somebody to help me. So I was not much concerned about all these things. What I am trying to tell you is, she could not complete her articles in 3 years period. She left at the last 6 months. The parents came and told me, we are going to marry her off. She got married, and ultimately within 2 years her husband died of AIDS. She got 2 kids, and I am telling you, once I was taking class after 15 years, in my academy, she was in the first row crying after seeing me, because that's the time I am seeing her after many years. She was crying. I said, don't bother, we will talk later. And after the class she came and told me, sir, now I am with Muthoot Finance. They are encouraging me to take up this course in the final. And now you know what? She is associate vice president or something in HDFC Bank. She is about 40 years now. Imagine the amount of challenges that particular article has taken, and see how they have moved. See, that is one aspect where we have to encourage such people. I told her, you come back to my office, and she was with me for another 1 year before she completed her final at the age of 40. What I am trying to tell is, lot of people, only when this interview happens, you understand their family background. Finally, when you select, sir.
No, not even select. See, where is the candidate coming today?
Sir, even in the 5-6 people they are coming. In my, sir, if you want, I can share more which I am getting from my place.
See, let me frank with you. See, in my firm I have 10 articles. I don't have a problem as far as the articles is concerned in my firm.
Okay.
That's a different issue.
Okay.
I get all my articles from Andhra.
Okay. Same thing for us also.
But the problem today, what the SMEs are facing is nobody is coming.
Sir, it's only the network ultimately that should get you this, sir. That's the answer I can give you. Maybe if I am not selecting somebody for whatever be the reasons, whether you select or not, I can share with you. That I can do.
Probably I think we do it for people so that at least that will also help.
No, that's what I am trying. More you network with people, but then you should not talk about Andhra, Kerala, Karnataka and all that. That is 100% clear. In my office, I have about 22 articles, of which girls are 15. Imagine. See, fantastic. They work very well.
See, anybody who does the work properly and sincerely is
People are saying there are no female members and all that nonsense. I will tell you from my office practice, and even in my network people, we have a lot of girls. They are taking more challenges than the boys. So let us not get into the gender aspect of it, but 100% I am telling you, they are doing a good job. My admin office is headed by a lady who is doing a very fantastic job. So all these things are ultimately, see, if you take the help, sometimes the admin lady itself says, sir, I have already told him not to come, because the way in which he was presenting himself, I myself has done it. So how to select people, that is the challenge which we are talking about. So interview takes maximum burden out of you. But most of the time what we say is, as you said, sir, already I don't have people, I don't have the power to even interview and all that. I want somebody. So then what happens? At that point of time, you are happy with the marriage. Then you talk about divorce and all that after 1 year or 6 months. Either he talks or she talks or you talk. That is the problem we are facing. I had at one point of time, left, right and center, around 10 people we just took. That was the people at the time when, what is that, C, we started with one course. Foundation, CPE. See, that is the starting point where no qualification is required. Just pass the CPT and foundation. That was the time. The quality was very horrible. Because poor people, I will not blame them. They were in a school and then straight away they came to the office. Imagine what type of thing that you get. So I will only say that you spend more time on this interview aspect of it. At least your quality, you know what you have ordered for in a hotel. Then it is up to you to eat it. There is no other alternative. Then comes this orientation. Orientation takes place in different forms, sir. That firm which I was telling you, they have employed, because they have a lot of people coming. In fact, I told them, if you have not taken, you please give me that. At least I can circulate amongst, so we can. So the only challenge to meet that type of situation is that you try to network with as many people, so that if I have enough, okay, it will come to you, the follower or whatever it is. So orientation takes place in our office, where explaining them for first 2 to 3 weeks. It is a type of group type of thing we make it. Mostly people at this point of time, we want a mix of people. We tell very clearly they will have to speak in the local language, because the challenge that I am facing is Andhra, Odisha, so many people are coming. Everybody is happy with Hindi. I am also happy with Hindi, there is no problem for me. But then my client is not happy. My locals are not happy. So we put a very important condition is that they should not speak in Hindi amongst themselves first. Let them speak to the client. If his client is happy, let them also be happy. But first is learning the local language. So orientation takes place where we talk about the office systems and processes. Here, these timings I am going to talk about and hours of work. That is where the challenge comes. I asked that girl, what is this timing and what is the hours of work? Sir, office timing is normally you say 9:30 to 5:30. Then the number of hours of work that I put is different. So this is what I have been told when I joined. So this, how many of us say? We just come and tell them 9:30 to 5:30. That fellow will always go at 8 o'clock. See, this is where the heartburn and all that starts. So tell them very clearly, because most of them go for some classes and all that. So we will have to help them with that aspect of it also. So, and one of my network partners said, sir, always have redundancy in your firm. If you need only 4 people, try to take 8 people. Where is the cost? How to meet the cost? That's a different challenge. See, when they go on leave and all that, that is how we can manage. And also I have an Excel sheet in my office which always comes to me once in 3 months. Who are all the persons who are going to complete their articles in the next 3 months? We don't bother about this. Only on the fag end of the day, that fellow will come and tell you, sir, tomorrow is going to be my last. Then only you will have that challenge. You will have to meet and find out what is happening. Then by that time he will leave. All our problems start. So we have a sort of introspection. Once in 3 months, our admin has to send to all the partners who are all the people who are going to complete the articles in the next 3 months. So that will be a sort of forerunner for you to understand how to meet the challenge of the numbers. Sometimes one go you will get some 5-6 people, and one go those 5-6 people will also get away. So this challenge we have to meet. Therefore, the timings and hours of work, there is a difference. Then what are the holidays? We are talking about national holidays, festival holidays. Institute, I think, is giving some 18 days or standard which you have to definitely follow. So we are following that 18 days where the institute is also having. Mostly it is by Negotiable Instrument Act, so that's why we do. Dress code, special emphasis. That this was given by the girl. I said, in IIT Madras they are talking about how can you talk about the dress code. So I had a challenge here, that's why I said special emphasis. One of the persons, my junior partner, he was not happy with the way in which people were dressing. It was a Saturday, but still he was mentioning. So we lost 2 articles. They said, we don't want to work in this office if you are going to say this is the dress code. How many of you face challenges like that? No one?
We face, but we are able to convince them.
Fine, it all depends. I still remember what happened to me in my office. I will share that. Because this is a very, very important thing where it is a dress ultimately. When you go to your client, you are also being seen not as A, B, C, but as a representative of the firm. So it so happened that we were not wearing this button, and our partner said, from tomorrow, if you are going to come like this, don't come to my office. And shoe was another important thing which they were very, very particular in that office. One fellow from Andhra. And the biggest challenge was, my partner never used to talk to the first year article directly. He used to talk through the second or the third year article. We were dropping that person, and he asked me, Govind, whether Venkatesh is going to come on Monday. Can you imagine what he is talking about, my partner? Venkatesh did not understand, but I understood. I said, you are not wearing shoes today. Will you purchase shoes and wear it and come on Monday? That is what he is trying to say. See, the way in which they were, that was a firm, those days getting articles, okay, was easy. Today, if I say like that, I don't know whether he will come to my office with a shoe or whatever. Or he may be wearing a better shoe than what I have also. Because his parents are something different today. Pardon?
He'll come with shoe in his hand.
Yes, maybe. That is also another challenge we have to face. So this dress, I think, I don't know how far you will agree whether we should talk about dress code or not.
We have tailored the dress code, but put it politely and what you call it, say, you don't say you have to come only in this particular fashion. Please come to the office in a neatly dressed so that the other person will not come in the.
That is one aspect of it, but what we have done is, we have made third or fourth Saturday as a holiday, and all the other Saturdays they can come in casual dress. That is what we have mentioned, and people are very happy. This we have done about 2 years, and people come specifically wearing, and they are very happy on the day. And mostly those days are for our training the people. Half a day only we will be working. The rest of half a day we will be only on training, where they will come and present on all that, which I will be discussing more. So this is one aspect. Health and safety is another thing, because most of them, they come from outside the state. We find them sick because of the food and all that. So we try to talk to them In my office, after 5:30, if somebody stays, then we are providing them with some refreshments and things like that. First, I told my people, don't ever say no to what they ask. Then that became a big wish list. Only one peon, and he has to go to some 5 places. And now we have made it very clear, as far as possible, please come to a conclusion and then have healthy food. Once in a way you go for that. But then daily you don't take junk and all that. So this aspect we should, as members who are training them, because the father and mother are outside, then how well we are going to do. Safety. This is one thing which I would like to share. I had a person who was from Kerala, but born and brought up, even though in Kerala, he was brought up in Odisha. And the father came to the institute, and Mr. Narayanan, one who was an employee, he just introduced me in this corridor, and the father just took his hand and then said, he is going to be your student, please take care, and he left. That day I had more responsibility because he just met me and all that. After 6 months or so, I got a call in the morning, 6:45. Sir, your Paul is now in the custody, highway police. Please come and pick him. Which Paul? What is that you are talking? Nonsense. I just shouted. Sir, I am RPF. There is one Paul who gave your number and he wants. You know what happened? This poor fellow has gone to Central to meet somebody from relative to collect money at night 11:45. The platform ticket ends at 12 o'clock. Poor fellow did not understood the implication. He was inside, he was caught. The next day the phone call came. See, the safety of that person now is behind bars. So I had to send one article, and the next day we somehow managed to see, because they are from outside, what amount of responsibility that we have. We are talking about their work and all that. The safety of that person is also very important, which I thought I will answer here. Relationship with the members of the office, that is another challenge, because we have girls, we have boys, and we have people around 40-45 years of age heading our indirect tax division, and as low as 19 or 20. So you see the age difference and how they have to move between themselves, conduct this thing. That is another challenge which we thought we will also help them in the final first orientation aspect of it. We will discuss. And conducting outside and the client premises also, we train them, we tell them how you should behave. In fact, one of my friends said how he got into this challenge. He was in a boardroom with a senior chartered accountant. About the 5th day or 6th day, phone came, he lifted. The other man said, get me apple juice. What is this? You are talking about apple juice here, calling? And then he left the phone down. Then this man said, why do you say like that? No, this is the chairman who has called and he wanted. The next day, the partner came and said, from now on, don't come to this audit. Otherwise, I will be in trouble. So don't come. See, how to meet these type of challenges in a work environment, that itself is a big thing. We have to teach them, because they are youngsters after all. We will lose our client, number one, and that student also will lose his morale and self-esteem and things like that. So that is a challenge. I thought we have to tell them how to behave in the premises. Okay, one thing. How many of you give the laptop to the student for their use and take it home and all that? Do anybody that's here? Most of us.
Most of my apprentices, they bring laptops.
Fine, that is also good. But what I am trying to tell is, how many of us give them that responsibility? We buy and give it to them. Do you collect something and then give it to them later, or
After completing only some articleship.
you are collecting something and then a book value you give it to them? Nothing, free. Good. We are also, but I understand some offices collect. From the stipend, they deduct certain amount. So this is another debate that is going on. So, but then we are having a problem here. Because it is belonging to me, he doesn't bother about maintaining it. He drops coffee. So many things happen. So this orientation tells him that this material is yours as long as you are an article here. At the same time, it belongs to us. So how to balance this? That is a challenge we are facing. I think you are also facing that. But they are youngsters. Immediately I told my junior partner, this is why I said you charge something. sir, with the stipend you and I give, he is maintaining himself in the mansion. Poor fellow, he is coming and asking me advance also sometime. How do you think I can collect? Then I stop. See, this is thing, because at our level we are not bothered. But the junior partner directly interacts with the students. So this is a challenge which we are facing. Social media is another challenge because everybody has got a geophone today. Now, can you give me some ideas? Yesterday we were discussing. Can we not ask them to put the phone in a safe place and then take it during lunch and all that? This is a debate that is going on. What is that you have? Do you have any challenges on?
Put it in the silent mode.
Okay, that is one aspect of it.
It's very difficult.
Even then they will be
Using it. You know what GRT is doing? You have to go and give it in the safe box during that work. GRT, jewelry.
at the reception.
IT companies are over there. Yeah, that's okay. See, let us talk about chartered accountants.
No, what I am trying to say is, see, the interaction is more, that is where the challenge comes. Whether it is a chartered accountant office or GRT or IT firm or whatever, when you are going to interact with the clients,
Yeah, the problem-
if you are going to see your Facebook likes and all that always,
See, what we have to tell them is clearly, I think this is prohibited. This is not acceptable for CFR. If you stop saying, please keep the phone and then only make it out a thing, because you will find it difficult at times when you want to contact him, therefore he is not available for you.
yeah, this is the discussion that was going on yesterday. But with respect to desktop, we have done one thing. I would like to share that with you. We have a firewall which we have invested. So none of those things they can go and browse. One person, a paid staff, came to my office and he was getting into Naukri.com and then trying to get his interview fixed. Now it is not possible because we have made it very clear that certain sites cannot be accessed at all. For partners, we have got a separate user ID wherein we have unlimited access. Once again, need to know, need to do business only. We are trying to fix up. But the challenge is the handheld phone, where my handheld phone is not connected through the network. So with the result, that's why I thought use of social media, how well.
See, you are talking about the mobile phone. Today, I can tell you about 9 out of 10 apprentices, they just look into any anchor, anything which you say, what is section 80D, what is section 80D, it's just a minute, sir. I'll see it in the thing.
100%, sir. That is why lastly I have put one slide. Is it a boon or a bane?
And you do anything, even the study material itself, they're seeing only in the thing and say, this is given in the institute material.
100%. See, it is like a small knife where you can cut the vegetables in your kitchen or you can kill somebody. So which one you want to do, that is the independence that is given to you. And that is where the challenge also comes. That is where the orientation helps, at least to some extent, saying that, as you said, the do's and don'ts.
See, in our office, what we made is we allow them to use the mobile phone at home. Whenever we have an issue with the student, then telling say, look to your site and then tell me what is this particular thing given in that particular thing.
We ourselves go, yes.
Then
Anyhow, it is ultimately the discipline, sir. Self-discipline is what that matters. That is what I would like to underline here. Making private telephone calls, that happens, we can't do anything much, but then we tell them, if it's very urgent, we do. See, I was going in a Uber, and that person was started with his phone call. I told him, sir, if it's very urgent, please stop and talk. He took it in a very right spirit, and every 10 minutes that was happening. I said, this should not be the situation. So, this is where you have to tell them very clearly how these private calls should happen or should not happen, whatever. File storage and retrieval is a very big challenge I am facing. I don't know what you are doing. We tell them this is purely company audit, this will be the trust audit, this will be the salary and all that. But of course, salary we have now, because of the developments that have taken place, practically it has become paperless as far as salary assessees are concerned. But then the other clients, business clients, we definitely need to have the working papers for wide variety of reasons. So this fellow will take the file, use it, and then just throw it, and even because he has got a class at 5:30, so he has to run. Or he will try to show it into some place and go. Next day, he will not come because of headache or whatever. then we have to now call up, he will switch off his phone. So these are all the challenges. We tell them, please do it. But then, people are people, so whatever we are doing it in orientation, it doesn't work to our satisfaction. Maybe if you can help me with something where you are following, I'll be very happy.
What I've been doing in our office is this problem has happened. We told them we have a clear-cut audit table is there where the apprentices sit. And we give a specific almirah to them next to that particular section. Anybody who is working in this article section, whatever the scenario, in the evening when they go out, they have to keep the file inside the cupboard and generally go. We make it a person. Now that we know the person is handling this particular.
It will be there only.
It will be only there.
Fine, but then you have a facility where you can provide one. But then everybody, whether it is possible with the limitation of the space and all that, that needs to look at. Anyhow, that is one idea where we can definitely, or else at least you buy one small cupboard and give it, let it be a dumping yard. So that let them put everything there, so that next day the retrieval can happen so easily. So that's a good thing, I will also think about it. Then information and data security is another thing, big challenge we are facing, virus and so many things. That is where, I don't know, heart to heart you tell me, how many of you are using only authorized software?
All of us.
Do you agree? Not all.
Not many. And
People may not admit, but I got into a challenge which I want to share with you. Call came from Microsoft saying that, not call, first one, email. We just disregarded. Second email, disregarded. Third time, phone call, disregarded. Fifth time, he said, I want to visit your office. That was the time I called up my network partners. They said, we are also into this challenge. See, one advantage for me is because we are not a firm where we have branches in different places. Then that will be the same thing that will be happening, because the chief partner in Chennai will say, don't bother. But we are a multi-disciplined and multi-variety of firms pan-India, starting from Guwahati to Trivandrum. So each person will have his own experience. So that is where I found from Hyderabad and Bangalore, please don't take it lightly. You know what is the investment that I am now making? About 5 lakhs for the licenses alone. Now, I don't know how many of you are aware, this 360 thing is gone. Now you can buy one. Yesterday I have signed a check. Now you can buy one office suit with only that Word and this thing, or maybe PowerPoint, and it can be in your own machine, or if your machine crashes, it can go to another machine, and it is not a yearly payment, you own it at a cheaper rate. Now I got about 25 licenses or so that they have introduced very recently, and you can pick and choose also. So whatever be that, the information security is one thing with respect to this, where we have put one firewall, but then challenges are there. If you are putting a firewall, so many other things will not work. So you have to face that. That is how we are facing this challenge of information.
then as far as data security is concerned, today as far as Chennai is concerned, keeping this authorized person to check whether the organizations are.
I received a letter only from them, sir. When I said Microsoft, I didn't want to say that. You have already told me. Yes, they spoke to me. They sent 2 or 3 emails. I was keeping quiet. Then they said, I want to visit your office. That is the time I called my vendor. He said, sir, already many people have got themselves into this mess. So then I asked him, what is the challenge? He said, sir, pay off. That is the thing where you can meet the challenge. So we paid off. Last 2-3 years, we have, for the network also, we have a separate software, that Windows network software. And then for each machine, we have a authorized software.
And today the software is not
No,
costly.
it is not, I mean, once again, sir, it is like just the CD, sir. When it was 250 rupees, nobody was touching. Now Jasdas comes and tells me, even if it is 50 rupees, there are people who are copying. The copying fellow will always copy, because that is the way in which he has got in his blood. You can't change him. But as you rightly said, sir, it's only a small amount, 50 rupees for one Jasdas CD, I will buy. See, that is the, in my network, we have made 5 minutes I will spend on the network also, so that you will understand how we have improved because of the network.
So probably you are being chosen for sending this mail and everything because you have become a little bit big.
Big. No, I won't say. Sir, the smallest firm in our network also is following that. It is not the big or
Not that when you got a call, you got a mail and everything, might be in case you have become a notary.
not. Sorry, see, the Airtel is sharing that with them. That is the thing which I want to understand and tell you. Airtel is telling what is the download and upload, how much GB you are using. All these things are getting shared. Sorry, all these things are getting shared by Airtel with KPMG, and based on that only these letters are coming or these mails are coming. So please be careful about it.
This is where the professionals should have a, what you call a specific knowledge. We thought everything is not to be shared and everything. But without our knowledge, so much of our information.
Yes, it goes 100%.
Shared for a price.
Yes. Paperless office. My Bangalore person was telling, my office is totally paperless. Is it possible? Not always. So we tell them very clearly, wherever that is possible, please try to avoid taking printouts and storage and all that. So based on that, you can try to achieve 60% paperless office or whatever it is. So all these things which we discuss now, we will tell them in the orientation aspect. So that is how you can get the maximum. You are asking me, how is this topic relevant? So that is how we have to get it done. Then we have created a sort of templates which most of you also would have done. But then we want to improve upon, because we are having a pan-India presence in the form of network. We have given separate committee type of thing, wherein each person's core competence will be taken into account in these areas. And see, one thing is the younger partners are really a boon to us in various firms. So we try to select them and then give this responsibility so that the templates are getting developed, so that it is getting shared amongst our members. So that's why I want to encourage people to listen to me on the network aspect of it. If you can also create one network or join somebody in the network, Institute has tried, but they are not, they are coming and asking us, how is that you are successful? We are now in the 12th year of our network. So, but then only 5-6 firms are totally in the network. Because nobody wants to lose their independence, sir. I will come to that in the end. We will discuss that.
But as far as templates is concerned, what I'm finding it, templates are useful, but unfortunately when you give it to the articles or to the partners, which are union partners and everything, see, they are not applying the mind. It's simply filling.
It is like Adobe Initial which you are talking about, sir, that I am facing the challenge only here, sir. In the checklist I am facing that. But with respect to income tax appeal, I am telling you, the first year of article, somebody gets trained, he is given the job of filling up. Then he does his basic work. Then we get into it. And that is how it is getting molded. I will not generalize what you say.
No, particularly what you find is particularly the audit checklist and everything.
That is there, sir, 100%. I tell you, they don't. Because the client is also like that, sir. The challenge for him is that, see, let us look at the ICFR and all that. How many of us were in a position to really say yes or no to so many things? Husband and wife both are directors. You are asking about the HR policy. And in your checklist you say, do they have an HR policy? Is it followed? Is it monitored? So, sir, there are certain things we have to customize it to some extent. That's why in my office what we have done is 10 crores and above, we don't take chances at all. Maybe you can ask, what is that 10 crore? Why is that you are? Somewhere I have to draw a line with this checklist. And whatever that I have learnt in the FRRB and FRRG, I am trying to put it in my office, saying that 2 teams will be there. One person will be doing the audit and another person whom I have trained on. Institute has given a free download for us on the FRRB. How many of you have downloaded? I don't know. It says what to do, what not to do in a company audit, what are the things which have not been done by chartered accountants, how they are being pulled up in disciplinary proceedings and all that. Fantastic material is available from the Institute side. So we can go through that and educate our students. So that is how we do. So I won't say these templates are 100% be all and end all. Ultimately, sir, when I give you a form, you have to apply your mind and fill the form. If you think that it is Adobe Initial and then you will just start ticking yes, 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 or see, how many of us do a proper job with respect to this long form audit report, you tell me. Most of it will be yes, no type of thing. We have to elaborate, and as a circumstantial auditor and all that, you know how we do.
I'll stop taking bank audit.
Very good. You don't want to be a Brady Street auditor once again. Okay, see these income tax certificates, this 15CA, CB and all that, if it is going to be in the form of a template, it becomes very easy because it's a monotonous thing, 26 QB and all that. Imagine you and I sitting and filling it up. Sometimes I don't even know. If he comes then I understand, okay, come, let us sit and understand. So what we do in our office is, those who do this job, they will have to prepare this template. And then we put it in a proper folder. If I am going to give the job to somebody, which I am going to discuss later in the segregation of duties and work, where division of work is given, these templates will definitely help. I mean, it becomes monotonous, not always, but sometimes. I agree with you. Time sheets, yes, it is a work record, first thing. Second thing is, it also helps in monitoring how the work is being done by. For this only we are using a software in our office. Lot of softwares are available, but then cost, the utility. Papillo is one thing, I don't know how many of you have done it. Papillo is really good. Papillo, P-A-P-P-I-L-L-O. Based on the number of users, I think now they get it to 200 rupees per user or something like that. It's a fantastic software. Then this, what is that, ICH or TCH, somebody, they send mailers. CCH, they also have one. We are trying to get into another one now. One other thing we have been using, but it is less costly than Papillo. But then it doesn't, see, once again, sir, what you give ultimately you get. So you cannot generalize saying that, but I'll tell you, somehow or other we should get into, for this timesheet and all that, it is better we get into some software mode. At the minimum, the cost which I find is about 50,000 rupees per annum for at least 10 users or 15 users. So Papilio, you please get into the website. It's a Bangalore-based firm. One of our network partners has given that name. They are using it. But the most challenge is, who is going to be the administrator of that? Because the moment you get into this type of timesheet or office management software, what happens is, every job is given a job number. And it is to go through the job number only. Suppose you are a person who travels a lot and your assistants are working in different places. Sitting in Mumbai airport, through cloud, you can get into this software and then see the desktop, which will tell you, and you can also fix up the time for completing the work. If it is not done, an email will go to that person. See, that is why they are charging the 200 rupees and all that. SMS also comes. Fantastic. But how many employees you have, what type of clients you have, I am not saying you get into Papillo or anything, but lesser varieties are also available. So you please get into that and then find out, but definitely investing the 56,000 rupees is really worth some. Another one, yesterday somebody came and met me, it's called simplify.com. If you have clients to whom you are helping them with all the resolutions and all that, the company law, company secretary work, they have a very fantastic software. It's a very, very cheaper in my opinion. It costs about 25 or 30,000 rupees. But most of the small private limited companies work are all taken care of by the simplify.com. They also give you a free access wherein the company law is updated on a daily basis, where you can download. That is free for anybody. Simplify, C-I-M-P-L-Y-F-I-V-E. It's a Bangalore-based firm. The background of the person is, he was working in Wipro, a chartered accountant, for at least 30 years or so. Now he has started. He came and met us, and our network people are now trying to get into that. So this use of software, definitely it will help. ICA requirements also now tell you that you need to tell how many hours the student has worked and all that. We should not just like that fill up. If they come for some scrutiny, then we have to face the challenge. In-house training. This is the most important thing where you can get the maximum out of your articles. Sharing the work experience. So what happens is, we select people from the third year of article and ask them to come and speak. That is the way where people can easily come and deliver and then talk without any inhibition or fear or anything like that. The first thing we started off in our network, we called some 40 people from 10 firms in Hyderabad. Then we said, now everybody will speak for 5 minutes. So I called one person. He was just holding the mic. He could not speak. You know what? Simply I said, what is the color you like? Talk about that color for 5 minutes. Beyond 2 minutes, he could not stop. That is the problem with our people, right? So, first make them aware that this public speaking or soft skills, all these things are required. Because how are you going to manage with your client tomorrow? First of all, you should know what is that you are going to talk to the client, how well you are going to talk to the client. All those things are a big challenge. So, sharing work experience, we call people and then ask. Group discussion is also there, where we select some 2-3 people and ask them to make a presentation Saturday. Saturday, half a day, we are specifically giving to the people to make them do this. Case study is also given. And wherever they are going for the workshop and all that, they are coming back and then teaching others as to what all things they learned in that particular workshop. Professional journals, we take Bombay Chartered Account Journal is one thing which we recommend to our students. So we get that, and other journals are also there. Our institute journal is also there. So we see, for example, if I am asked to speak in some forum, first thing I tell my article is, go through the last 6 months and find out any article is there on this subject. Then get into the website. You see, guys, this is one way. It's not that they are doing a mean job. First thing I tell them is, first you prepare the material and give it to me. Then I will sit with you. We will both join together and prepare my PowerPoint. See, if that is done, then he doesn't feel that he is doing a mean job. First thing is he understands. Then I teach him what is that in that material. So we have a set of 4 or 5 people, because we cannot put all the people also into this job. Core competence differs. So whomsoever is good, that is how we have to select people and then do this type. Soft skills, we are trying to put people and improve. Maybe we will even sponsor them to attend the programs on the soft skills. Latest developments, 5 minutes or 10 minutes we allot every week, and one person is given that responsibility where he reads that daily basis, whatever that is happening, and then he comes and presents a small this thing. Pre-audit and post-audit discussions are always there, where before we start the audit, we tell them sampling, how to go about, and all the basic working papers that are required and all that. Post, we also prepare 4 or 5 files which will be used for the purpose of training. The master file will be given, and we make them understand what all the things that should be present in the master file, previous year audit file, current year audit file, all those things will be taken up for discussions, and that is how we do. This is where we have a lot of challenges. We select some people, and that fellow himself is going on the same audit because you are happy, he is happy. I still remember a person now working in HDFC. He has not passed his final. He comes and tells me, because you sent me to the concurrent audit in Rayapuram branch and I was there for 2.5 years, I find it is very useful, sir, now in my banking. This girl who I was telling in the PSU, we were putting her in a transfer pricing this thing, where we got into that probase, and then she was doing a lot of filtering and all that, and then she prepared that. Now she is doing a great job in the PSU on this transfer pricing. When the group discussion was there, she called me and said, I was leading, sir, because I had that experience of transfer pricing in our office. See, ours is a very small firm. We have about 2 or 3 transfer pricing maximum. But even that, if somebody is taking the right spirit, see, that is where ultimately matters, sir. The numbers may be less. We are only 10 people here. But see the amount of response that we have and the time that you are spending to listen. And I also get something out of you. That is what ultimately matters. If 100 people are there and they are going to listen and ultimately go away, it doesn't matter. So that 1 or 2 of transfer pricing which I had in my office, if that is going to help my article in developing their profession or in the industry career, that ultimately is a success we have to be happy with. So segregation, rotation, these are all definitely required, but how far we can do it, because time and again when some article is completing that 3 years, I spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes on the last day. Or if I am not there, I will ask them to come after they sign the papers. First thing I ask them is, what is that you don't like in this office?
Exit it.
Yes, exit interview. Nothing, sir, everything is fantastic. No, it cannot be. Last day, don't bother. You and I are the only person in this room. Please be frank. Then, time and again, I get one thing. Sir, I could not get exposure on all the areas. See, all said and done, you have your own challenge. Why you didn't give that fellow that bank audit in some other place other than Rayapuram? First of all, he was very happy. So my problem got solved. On the other hand, one girl was feeling, he was always sending me to bank. I don't want this. I want transfer pricing, sir. But that is the time she will go on leave. What I can do about it? That is my challenge. I can't ask her, okay, if you want exposure on transfer pricing, please don't go on leave. How she can do it? Her career will be affected. So this is where we have. And another one, I met the client, said, sir, every year you are sending new people to me. Now this girl wanted to go away, that is why I am putting somebody, and that man says, no, I don't want this, bring that girl. She is not happy. See, where are we going? And you are coming and telling the numbers are already less. So imagine the amount of challenge. So how to get maximum? If you still go to the topic, this is where our challenge comes. Where we have to take a balance of all these things, and if nothing works out, you and I will have to personally go there, sit and do. That is the thing ultimately happens.
But what do you do in this part? You cannot want continuous client says you are sending the same person. Because we tell the client also, yes, this is the issue, please bear with us. You may not like it, that's a different thing. We'll tell them, he has a knowledge, these people are going to come, more or less the same people is going to come. Second aspect what it is, for any audit, even however it is small, even a single person can manage. But we make it a policy to send two people.
Yeah, it's a teamwork. They will learn from one another.
We make it a policy to send two persons, out of which at least one person will be
Experienced one.
either second year or third year.
Naturally.
That's the only scenario. So with the result, the same team will go, the client will argue saying you are saying the same team person. I said you have not seen it, sir. One person is only person only for continuity purpose he is there. The next person is coming to join him and then understand this particular thing. The client also in the other case was telling, sir, don't send the same two teams, you send a different person for this particular.
That's why I'm saying, client is also having different expectations, student is also having different expectations, we are having a different expectation. How are we going to meet this challenge? That is where this thing.
This is where we can to some extent manage.
See, that is why when we start people to join us, we ask them, what do you think? One girl said, I don't want any outstation audit at all. Okay, no problem. So list it first. One boy said, I want only that. Two girls and came and told us, why is that you are not sending us along with the boys? Today, gender bias, sir. So you know what I did? I took two girls and I took two boys, and then I put them on two different rooms because I have to face the challenge of the parents, and so many things are there. And in spite of this, accident happened in a car. So many things, nothing to do with this thing. So we had to face such challenges. Because the girls come and tell me, what is the point? We are prepared to go on outstation audit. What is your problem? I will manage my parent. No problem. Okay, fine, go. So we have this surprise audit for one of the tall plazas in Coimbatore. Every 3 months somebody has to go. Surprise without telling them. So two girls go. They take a room. Client doesn't arrange. Because last year, because GST and so many things, reimbursement, GST. So he said, sir, I will pay you. Impute that in the cost. Now they book the ticket. They arrange neatly. They pay the credit card. They come and take a check from us. Fantastic. Two girls are really doing wonders. So that is also possible. It's not the girl or the boy that ultimately matters. So that is what we have learned. Weekend in-house programs, which I told you on Saturdays, half a day, we are specifically allotting only for this. First few days we thought, okay, Saturday means this person will be off. No, that's a big challenge, I am telling you. From Friday itself, he is in fire pants. Because he has to come and present the next day. Like Lavakusha, Rama, we sit there and listen. One partner will have to sit, because if only articles are listening, that fellow will have his own thing. So if partner comes and sits, then he also feels, yes, I am being heard. See, that is one aspect of management where if the top management is interested in coming and sitting, that is more important. So we ensure that one of our partners is present there. That too, the manager in charge of that will be the leader. He will introduce the speaker and also talk for a few minutes about that, and ultimately the student will come and present. I mean, there will be a lot of challenges, there will be, see, we have to improve upon, they may not know how to do it. A PowerPoint, for example, see, I have put only 3 bullet points here. You might have seen in many forums where it will be full of line and line and line. Ultimately, what is that when you look at it? How, even that girl prepared like that. Then I told her, she said, Deacon in-house program, she started writing a big essay on that. I said, I don't want all these things. I'm very happy that you have understood what it is. But my members will already know what it is. So I am just going to throw open saying that on Saturday we have a program. Now can you tell me what is this breakfast meeting? I learned it from one of my network partners. Can you tell me what is this?
See, probably have the meeting sometime in the morning session with breakfast. This meeting will start around 8, 8:30.
With whom?
Students.
Yes, we tried it. Bangalore is very successful. Chennai is a big failure in this. I will take them to a restaurant. 3 managers are there, 3 divisions, indirect tax, direct tax, audit. I take the audit people. Only 5 people will be there, not a big crowd. Then I tell them, order first whatever you want. They will order, it will take some time. We will start. What is the challenge you are facing this client? Nothing will come out. They will be more interested in finishing the breakfast. I'm not surprised because the age, they want it. Yes, I am prepared to give you, but I want to take something from you. That's not happening. So I stop. But then my network partner says, don't bother. Keep it running. But my junior partner says, nonsense sir, I am wasting my time looking at what he is eating. I don't want. See, the manager says, sir, already we are discussing, sir, don't worry. You take me to breakfast, we will decide and then finish it off. But I don't want. I want my student to come and tell me what is the challenge he is facing with my partner, junior partner, or my manager. I am giving them an opportunity. They don't speak. But then they speak outside. One challenge which I was telling my junior partner, why is that everybody, he will laugh at me, he was also in my office for some time. Why is that everybody who left our office is in practice, they don't want to join us? Why is that everybody who left after 3 years doesn't want to come and do post-qualification? Thankfully, some 5 people are still there. The first challenge I met with my wife. She said, none of your people have passed after 6 years of your practice. What to do? I can't do anything about it. I said, okay, God is like that, I can't do, because it's my failure, I don't know. I just kept, but I passed out in the first attempt, I don't know. Those things are different. It's a curse, I think. Maybe your people are not passing. This was heard by one of my assistants. One Sunday he came to my house, rang the bell, he didn't even fix up time. And he said, ma'am, we are going out. I have passed. What is that? No, I overheard one day he was telling to somebody that it's a curse on this office and nobody has passed. I have passed. Now I am going to take you. We are going to eat outside and I am going to get him a shirt. I am still having that shirt. I don't wear much. And that fellow is in a very big position in Oracle. I tell you, see, ours is a very small firm. We started off like that. But there are people, ultimately what I am trying to tell you is, don't look at them only from an article's perspective. Look at them from a human perspective. Each human being is different. Some people, they don't work. They are born and brought up like that. I have a friend of mine who passed and joined the same PSU 25 years ago in Mumbai. When he joined, he asked them, what is that we are Sir, you are from Tamil Nadu, we are also like that, we are in the Ramanuja mansion and all that, that is how it is all that. We read Kalki, Kumudam, there is one Nayar shop which supplies all these books. Read it, nobody bothers here. Third month he left. Now he is into his own business. Now he is a director having a software company. Now imagine that type of, see, there are some people who would be very happy to read that Kalki Ananda Vigadan sitting in Delhi, and he would become FA and CEO at the age of 55, having happily some house and all that. See, ultimately what matters is how you are conducting yourself. That is what we have to tell our people when we train articles as to how to meet. When I give these type of examples to my assistant, he decides whether he wants to be a reader of Kumudam or he wants to be a director of a software firm. So,
Sir, one minute. Today the new concept, you're talking about breakfast meetings. Today the new concept as I mentioned, I think some of the chartered accountants they're doing it on the weekend, at least once in a month. They take the students out to the nearest place. They call it as an outing meeting.
we have that, but that is only for enjoyment. We don't talk about anything.
No, no. It's an enjoyment is that by going and coming people are discussing.
We are discussing, sir, but then our fellows are saying, sir, already we are discussing daily. They arrange a bus and they go. We only sign a check. We don't come with them also. We ensure that admin lady goes with them, and she is a very experienced person, and 2 chartered accountant partners are also there, family people. So we ensure that it's a family type of outing. We ensure. But they say very clearly, no talking of
Office matter.
yes. We have that. See here, improving the morale, where birthdays, cake cutting goes on. We grant them, okay, this is the amount I am going to give. I don't bother what type of cake you eat. Within this, finish it off. Sometimes they get some gift also by pooling resources from them. Firm also does, depends upon the economic conditions of that person and all that. So we do that. Price, that also happens. Then festival celebration, we have different types of communities in our office. We don't have any caste, creed and all that. All religions are there in our office. So we celebrate all types of festivals. Then outing tours, yes, that is happening, but purely for enjoyment. Social responsibility, this is where we try to pick up at the interview stage what is the background of the person. I sit with them and ask them, who are all in your family? How do you do this? How do you maintain yourself? Do you think you need some finance for classes? Something like that. We talk to them. Then in my family we have a trust. So from out of we try to help. All the other partners are there. Our alumni is also interested in helping. So that is how we do this social responsibility type of thing which goes on. Now I think almost 7:30. When they told them 3 hours, I said there's nothing to talk on 3 hours. 1.5 hours is the maximum that I can talk. Somehow, thanks to all you people, because of that, this otherwise I would have finished these 10 slides in 1 hour and then said goodbye. Anyhow, it's a good learning that we have. We know that we are into this mess, into this challenge, but there is some guiding light somewhere where we can look at the challenges, leave taken. Nothing needs to be discussed. That girl itself did some work and then said, sir, nearly 365 days of that 3 years is gone, sir. So effectively we get 50% of that 3 years only in the office. She did this work and she came back saying that it is not 3 years, it is 1.5 years. 52 into like that, she did some work and extra holidays, all these things she did it. And then she came back that it's not so. Ultimately, the initiative matters, sir. All said and done, but here there is a challenge. If I take initiative, this fellow will see to it that I am always there in the office and I may not get my leave. See, this is one thinking. That is why I tell my junior partners, if you find some talent in somebody, try to use it as achar or urgai. Don't try to gobble up. So with the result, you will lose that golden goose. So help him, Tell him, because you have been working, I am giving you this much leave, but see to it that this particular job is properly done. Come back, then we will think about other things and all that. So ultimately the initiative, if you find, both initiatives should be from both sides. It will be from your side as well as from the article side, where we can meet somewhere in between and do it. Classes and extra courses are another challenge. They come back saying that I am into BCom, 10 days I require, I am into ICWA, so many things are there, and extra courses that they take up, classes and all that. So that we may have to really help them, because they are not employees, so we have to definitely take that into account.
But the problem is if they go for this become don't mind and the number is not going to be. The problem is they say I want to go for mastermind.
Then it will be difficult.
That is the problem. See today I think today we are facing the
Yes,
problem.
the problem is here.
Sir, that's what I am saying, no. If the numbers are more, at least we can rotate and then take, but the numbers are also not coming. So between the 5-6 people, how we are going to meet? When I was an article in Sharpentan and Chennai, that partner wanted to prove himself. So anywhere outside Vindhyas only he will take work. Imagine the plight. I never used to come to this building at all when I was in the first 2 years. And many of my friends used to come here and talk about CC. I used to sit in some guest house and then start writing the CC papers. No phone, no cell phone, nothing. My mother used to send me an inland saying, some CC has come, you are passed. That is how, see, those days were like that. Today, everything happens in a jiffy. So, that's why I put the last one. Technology, is it a boon or a bane? The answer is that it depends upon the knife, how you are using. Ultimately, you can use it for the betterment or whatever you want. I think that's we have come to an end.
We are on the technology part. That is the reason it is stuck.
Please go to the next slide. I think that's the end of it.
Now you can try the previous one.
That's all.
That's all.
So I think we had enough discussion. If you still think that some questions or want to supplement, we can take, otherwise we can close.
Okay, my interest in this part is probably I think I'm taking initiative.
Yes.
See what you expect at least in the short term to long term, the initiative the institute can take.
For what? For improving the numbers of articles, or for the betterment of
Unless you
the profession.
See, unless you make the entry, unless you see that the students are coming, it's very difficult. The profession is not going to grow at all. Second thing, one is the quality of education is at the bottom. Not with the institute, even with the general education itself is at the bottom. We can't break that part. The next aspect is you want to be the easy entry and difficult exit, or medium difficulty entry and medium difficulty exit.
I would vote for that. Because we have been facing this challenge of easy entry, we are calling all types of people to enter without any filtering. Then it is like, I don't want to name the school, which passes people up to 8th standard. 9th standard, they will fail people and ask them to send out of the school. I don't want to name the school. It is that school which will not bother up to 8. They will be pampering the students like anything. But then what happens? I tell you. The same thing is happening here. But I tell you, this is a very easy thing to talk about. But then there are a lot of challenges which we need to look at. Government on the one side. We don't even know what the government wants. Probably I don't know about what the government feels. There's a demand-supply equation which is thought about as far as the profession is concerned.
That is the thing which I wanted to come back to.
Mm.
That's what I just wanted to say. I got the thing is want to be the mid easy entry and mid difficult exit. That is one aspect. Is it possible to look into? Next thing is you say it is 3 years of articles. Unfortunately, it is not 3 years of articles. See, the students students spend roughly about 6 to 6.5 months on the institute.
Now that is also that you are talking about GMCS and all that. That is also they were telling.
Second GMC,
See, that is how it came to 180 days.
150 days. Now, what is the impact on this GMC?
Sir, on the one, that is one thing. Definitely, we have to meet the challenge of what is the takeaway from that. That is one thing which I think this is where the Central Council members or somebody should be here so that they can, because we as ordinary commoners will not be in a position to sit judge, because if you look at them, probably they can. Probably next, whenever we meet in some forum, we should take it up and then ask them, especially in the conferences and all that. That is the time where all the Central Council members or Regional Council members will be present. Already, they have also understood the pitfalls of this GMCS, so they are trying to fine tune it. So many things are happening. I will not say nothing has happened, but still, more things have to happen.
No, the problem today is they made the second GMCS.
Yes, that is also taking time. On one hand, sir, our people don't even know how to write a letter to some authority. That is how it all started. When you talk about MBA, sir, first of all, you have at least 3 to 4 types of core areas where you are taking in the SAT test and all that, wherein your aptitude, all those things are getting tested, your English, so many things are getting tested. Nothing is getting tested here. Everything is getting tested with the client or with the regulator. That is where the challenge comes. So they said, okay, if that is not there, at least we will start up with this GMC. That's a good objective. I will not say that it is just like that they did. But then we have miserably failed somewhere in implementing that. That is where we need to look at. How best, okay, if GMCS 1 and 2 is not required, then we have to find out how best within the short period of time that person has to do.
And this 100 hours orientation course, 100 hours computer training which the institute has made it reasonably good. I will not say that, but
At least to some extent he is coming and sitting in our office and then trying to get into the system where we are not in a position to do it.
no, I just wanted, you allowed me to talk at
Yes.
this level. That is I'm happy they know something about the laptop and computer. But inside what to do, they do not know anything at all.
So that is where I said the structure of that course needs to be addressed and changed.
No, they talk about Microsoft Word, they talk about Excel, they talk about PowerPoint presentation, all those things there. But the result is the student doesn't know anything at all.
Sir, he goes to complete the number of hours, that's all. That is very clear. That's what the student himself, whenever this topic was brought yesterday, they said, sir, please talk about that to the members. That girl was laughing. Practically, we have not got any benefit out of this. That's what she was telling. And my junior partner was telling, all the more she is sitting there, sir, she has not come to the office, I am also facing problem. So on one side, we members are facing problem because they are attending and there is no takeaway from that. See, that is where, I will not blame the GMCS or anything like that, but I am not happy with the way in which it is implemented. The quality is suffering.
I'm not blaming at all. First thing is it reduces the apprentices' available time for the office.
Yes.
Second thing is the quality of the stuff which is being given to them.
Is not the level at which it was expected. That's fine. That's where I think, no, see here our audience will not be in a position to sit judge or something like that. Maybe the concerned person here in charge of that this thing should be present so that I think. But anyhow, we will try to meet them whenever and then. I think we can conclude at this point of time. So thanks a lot for a very good interaction with all of you. Pardon, sir? Dummy articles is another challenge which, but once again, as he said, initiative is what that matters, sir. If he is my friend, close friend, so I have to help him out. Like that, obligations are coming where, that means it is your problem. You yourself have admitted to that, therefore you have to suffer. But you have to definitely come and tell, I don't want to give any dummy articleship.
No, but as far as dummy articles concerned, I made a study. The quantum of dummy articles has reduced enormously.
Yes.
Not because I don't want to give the dummy article. The students are not there.
Sir, that is only.
It's reduced a lot. It's reduced a lot.
See, I don't find much people coming and asking. Earlier it was.
And today the problem, the new type of dummy articles is you take that supervised in Vijayawada.
They have closed, I was told. Yesterday we were discussing that.
Okay. Second
In
is-
Guntur, somebody else has now started.
No, in Mastermind in Guntur and In Tirupati, the one entire road is only the CA training institute. What they did is, they asked you to pay about 3 lakhs rupees from CPT to final. They arranged the articles. You need not attend all.
See, that is where institute should come and then. Yes.
No, it's not.
Necessity is the mother of invention, sir. That is where they find. See, it is a marriage of convenience for both. The member also gets articles, so he is happy with them. And the student also is happy because somehow or other he passes the exam. Ultimately, the botheration is only with the institute. How to control these type of mushrooming educational institutions, that is where the challenge the institute is
All
facing.
because students are interested in passing the exam.
Yeah, ultimately.
Undergoing the articleship and all, they become very unimportant.
Sir, I want to pass the exam, sir, then only I can get my money. Already 3 years I have suffered.
That's the reason
See, that is where we have to look at it and see how best we have to solve. Anyhow, this will be a good interactive session that we have. I never thought some 10-15 people, okay, that is always there. I can always give that anecdote and then get away. But what is the takeaway from this? Ultimately, quality, we have definitely in the last 2 hours, even though we all thought that what is that this fellow is going to talk about, and that might be the, so ultimately we go back to that. In a battlefield, the person who talks and the person who receives it, if both keep their antennas open. Today, all the antennas were open here. That is why the communication got completed. Thankfully, I should really thank every one of you for having interacted. In fact, I told my assistants also today in my office, this topic, and in fact, somebody, he was always calling me and asking me, sir, when will you give your presentation? I said, this particular topic is not a technical topic where I need to give a presentation and then it will be circulated and all that. What I am going to talk is totally interactive. That's what afternoon, around 12 o'clock he called me once again. Day before yesterday he called me. My presentation was already done on Friday. I went through everything. But then Vijay Kumar sent me one SMS saying, will you share your PPT? I said, definitely I will do it. I am going to send it today evening. My network partners are also interested. See, ultimately here, what we have only thrown up ideas. And each and every thing which we discuss can have different interpretations, can come to different conclusions. But what is good for you? Breakfast meeting, for example, is an excellent thing which Bangalore is doing. But I could not do. That doesn't mean it's a failure for the breakfast meeting. You have to apply it in the right spirit, at the right time, at the right place. What is good for you may not be good for me. Now the diabetics doctors are come and telling, no, each body is different. But then you give the same glycemic and you give the same metformin. How does it work?
Sir, this breakfast meeting and other thing, the southern part of thing is a different. Completely they are all thinking in a different way. Whereas if you go to Mumbai or Delhi,
Sir, Bangalore is working out fantastic, sir. Bangalore is in southern part of the country.
Bangalore is as good as Delhi and Bombay. As good as Delhi.
So let us not get into north or south. Ultimately, what I am trying to say is how do you perceive these things? Ultimately, that matters. I went to Woodlands. I took my people. He said, are you coming here only for discussion? Then I will give you a hall. I will charge you separately. See the attitude of the people here. In the north, for example, as you said rightly, if I go to a restaurant and 10 people are there, they will be very happy to encourage you and sit.
North, you are taking the chapati and also this aloo and other thing. That is a different thing. Whereas here, this dosa and other thing, everything you.
So you say you are concentrating on the food. Yes.
Whereas it is that thing.
So instead of breakfast meeting, you have dinner meetings. No problem. So ultimately, what I want is, if I ask them to come and sit and eat.
Here we have to make a puri and also.
So that's what I am saying. No, you innovate in things, but ultimately something should come out of that meeting. Eating alone is not meeting.
Why I am telling is, a breakfast meeting and other thing, in a 5-star or 4-star thing, whatever they get, it comes slowly and comes and other thing. They discuss slowly. They discuss.
Woodlands did not allow me, sir. That is why they said get out.
No, I'm not talking about.
5-star, I cannot afford my meeting in 5-star hotel.
No.
That's what
I'm not talking about article. I'm talking about the business people. Sometimes they come and other meetings.
Sir, the best thing is cheap and best. Go to coffee day. Nobody is bothering you. Cheap and best. 100, 200 rupees. I have most of my client meetings there. Incidentally, I want to share this. Now we have also tried to do something in Dubai, where the challenge of VAT is coming. So a lot of opportunities have started opening, but the cost is prohibitive. We have now opened, but we find that we are spending more. The advanced aspect of it, I was discussing, over phone and all that. That doesn't happen there. We give the proposal, we tell them pay us advance, then we will take your work. Because there I cannot do the same thing which I am doing here. The same Bihari assistant is now getting transferred there. Imagine, you are talking about Tamilian and all that, a Bihar student, we are talking about Bihar as underdeveloped and so many things. No, the person is fantastic. That Bihar gentleman is having 2 groups in final. He says, sir, I will relocate to Dubai, I will take my exams there. So we are going to try and send him and then see how best. I don't know whether I will be successful in that office in Dubai. We are going to do only VAT support there. But the article is taking initiative. They say, I am prepared to relocate. 2 people are now coming and fighting. 3 months, let him go, 3 months, I will go. But my challenge is, I have to get a labor card which will be valid for 2 years for him. So these are all the different type of opportunities which are available for our own article, where they should take the initiative and complete. Okay, so nice of you all having listened. Thank you once again.
Excellent presentation. We got.
At least we have the answer for the question which I raised in the beginning.
Is it for the articles or is it for the members? At the end of the day, I feel that we must say it is for both the members and the thing. But the challenges is not, we have not discussed it, but the biggest challenge today is the quality of our members. I just wanted to,
Please go.
if you don't mind,
No problem.
see the quality of the members who has got out from the institute. I think sitting in the institute is very difficult to talk and then make out the thing. But I don't mind sharing the thing.
Yeah, whatever you are doing,
it's
it
getting
is
recorded,
being
sir.
recorded.
No problem.
But they are not going to see also.
No problem. See, the rank holder was got from the institute, recruited in Scope International for a fabulous CPE, the campus interview, thrown out within 3 months.
That is hire and fire. That is.
No, I'm not saying that, but let him be hired and fired, that's a different thing. He has been fired because he doesn't know anything at all. That is the level to which the quality has come down. So it is at least now, he has given you the valuable inputs. See, unless the saying in scriptures is it is Yada Raja and Tada Praja. As the king, this is the person. Unless we are disciplined, unless we take initiative in making the students, I think the future members is not going to come.
We deserve our children, that's what my brother used to say.
And
See, we deserve our articles. Yes.
And we feel that we should do something collectively to see that the improvement in number of students are coming to this profession. I hope everybody will agree with me. As a token of love and affection, we just wanted to give a small memento to Mr. Goenka.
Thank you.